Hola, hola, bienvenidos a Las Comadres Podcast. Aquí van a encontrar un espacio donde comadres intentan con mucho esfuerzo hablar en español. La palabra operativa siendo intentar. A veces nos vamos a encontrar las palabras que no se nos vienen y pues we're going to speak in English, we're going to speak Spanglish, and we're going to speak in español. Aquí vamos a tener pláticas sinceras, cuentas divertidas y quizás algún que otro consejo. Hoy tenemos un episodio increíble. Acomódense. Hola, comadres. Ojalá que ya se acomodaron. Soy la comadre Melissa y hoy el tema es muy importante para los jóvenes y líderes que tenemos en nuestras casas y en nuestros hogares y comunidades. Les voy a hablar de una organización de liderazgo para jóvenes en la secundaria. Yo he participado en estos programas que son muy importantes para los líderes que tenemos que están en la secundaria. Y es muy importante en recibir estos programas y participar en estos programas para nuestra comunidad. The National Hispanic Institute ha sido parte de mi vida por más de 40 años. Es una organización que provee programas de liderazgo para jóvenes que están en el grado 9 hasta el grado 12. Tenemos diferentes programas para participar en el verano. Esta organización se llama The National Hispanic Institute. This organization started in 1979 with Gloria de Leon and Ernesto Nieto. Gloria de Leon is my aunt, and they had an idea, a vision to provide leaders in our Latino community with programs so that they could practice within their community and learn at a really young age how to communicate, how to voice their opinions, how to be at the table. This program provides leadership training for individuals who are in 9th grade. They provide training for individuals who are in 10th grade and 11th grade. The 9th grade program is a program designed to teach leaders how to begin to communicate effectively, how to make sure that when they're voicing their opinions, they're well thought out processes, and using your voice. And when I say using your voice, not only figuratively, but literally, and being able to pronounce your words clearly, to have a strong voice, to use what you have to communicate effectively, and for people to listen to you. So the programs in itself are designed for kids at a really early age to begin to be comfortable being uncomfortable and talking in front of people. That's one of our biggest fears. And so we want to make sure that at a really early age, they begin practicing this. That is just the environment that the National Hispanic Institute provides at the freshman level. The freshman level program is called the Great Debate. And here they participate year round. This is the only program that you participate early before the program to go and compete against other regions throughout Texas. They begin training in their communities to begin building a community. And within that community, we provide them with the training and tools and resources necessary to go and compete at a program called the Great Debate. Now, do you have to be a debater to participate in these programs? Absolutely not. Through the National Hispanic Institute, what we wanted to provide was a game-like structure so that it didn't feel like school, so that when kids came and participated, it wasn't school. They were playing a game, and the game is called the Great Debate. And within that practice, they begin to learn skills such as creating thought processes and being able to communicate with other individuals and not be afraid to stand up in front of someone and voice your opinion and be able to debate that opinion and listen and learn from both sides in order to formulate your thoughts And so at a really young age, the ninth grade level, kids are barely getting out of the ninth grade school year, and they're beginning to learn these skills. And you can clearly see when kids participate in these programs how they develop that communication. And so really important skill set to have at a really early age. So the program in itself is they start recruiting, they start talking to kids January, February. They start the training and they compete in a program called the Great Debate in Sherman, Texas, and in San Antonio. And they compete against regions throughout the state of Texas who are also training for the Great Debate. So, like I said, recruiting has been ongoing. This is the time to go to the National Hispanic Institute.org if you have a freshman going into their sophomore year, completing their are freshmen in high school at this time. Austin has a region. We have a region in El Paso. We have a region in Dallas, Fort Worth, region in Corpus Christi, the Rio Grande Valley, San Antonio. So I highly recommend that you participate, or if you have, or if you know of anyone that's in the ninth grade level that would like to participate or would benefit from participating in this program, that would be awesome. So send them over to the National Hispanic Institute so that they can participate this summer. The next program that they have is called the Lorenzo Zavala Youth Legislative Session. I actually participated in this program back in 1983 when it was, I think we were the guinea pigs for the national program. It was the first statewide program that the National Hispanic Institute provided. And they brought together 200 kids from the state of Texas. My aunt was traveling throughout the state of Texas recruiting kids for this program that they had never done before, hoping that it would stick. And here we are 40 plus years later with the program still running, and one of the best programs in my life that I participated in. They bring together 200 kids throughout the state of Texas to participate in what they call as a youth legislative session. Again, just like the Great Debate, this is the game that they play. It's to use those communication skills. Much like Girl State and Boy State, this is also a legislative session where you have a structure and you run for office and you participate in a week-long program. But there you are building those communication skills that you've learned and use them with this program. And so just like the Great Debate is using your communication skills, this program begins the collaboration phase. And so you begin to learn to collaborate with individuals to persuade them about your ideas that you want to pass, maybe law or legislation to. So you need the collaboration of other individuals, and you need to be able to use your communication skills to persuade them. Just like in any everyday life, when you're an adult, the collaboration skills in your life you're very dependent on making sure that a team is working, or you're using your collaboration skills to network. And so the phase 2 of this program, the LDZ, is to begin to use your communication skills to begin to collaborate among networks and among different groups of individuals to participate in the program. And so there's a progression in each program. The first one, communication. Second one, you begin to collaborate. And then the final program is called the Collegiate World Series. And this one is designed for juniors going into their senior year and begin to learn how to navigate the college process. And just like with any system, universities, work, you need to learn to navigate systems. And so just like the progression of communication, collaboration, now you're using these skills to navigate systems, which is your upcoming big move of going to college or university. I believe that as the progression goes, you begin to learn to be confident in yourself. These leadership programs are designed to help build layer by layer what you need to get out into the world and either get into the workforce or get into university. These skills will benefit every individual who participates in these programs. the Collegiate World Series, designed for individuals who are college bound. They bring in college, university admissions officers to participate in this program. So you are face to face with individuals who are actually reading and scoring your college essays and your interviews. And so you become very familiar with the process. And if you learn to navigate that process, the more successful you become in getting into the university that you would like to get into. Being as competitive as it is now, these universities, you need to be above and beyond what these universities are looking for. And as Latino youth, having good grades, making sure that you're outstanding within your community, I think that these are definitely skills to build on as you're growing or as you're working through high school. So I think that we need to make sure that if you know kids in the ninth, 10th, or 11th grade that would benefit from these programs, I highly recommend that you send them over to the National Hispanic Institute. Their website is nationalhispanicinstitute.org. Call them, let us know if there's any way we can help. We're going to link the website to our Las Comadres Facebook page so that you can directly apply for these kids. Now, we know our kids are involved in every little thing. One of the things that I always stress is both my girls, Annalisa and Alondra, both participated in these programs. And yes, they were both sports individuals. They both played volleyball. They both were heavily involved in their schools. But I really thought that this was important for them to participate in, because you not only have to rely on or hope that, oh my God, I hope they get that volleyball scholarship, or I hope they get the academic scholarship. Your kids have to be well-rounded, and being able to navigate systems and communicate effectively with people is a skill that, regardless of what you're going to go into, you need those skills. And so I highly recommend any of the programs with the National Hispanic Institute for you to lead your kids to participate. Most of the time, the kids are going to be like, I don't want to do this. I can't tell you how many times we come across, kids and parents who just do not want to participate. This is not something that they want to do. And then by the end of the week or the end of the program, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to them. And so I guarantee that the outcomes will outweigh anything that they are already participating in. I think that sports is great. Both my girls played sports. I think the academics, but they have to be that well-rounded individual who's able to communicate, who's able to look at you in the face and say, this is who I am, this is what I believe. And at this very young age, they need to start formulating those thoughts, who they are, who they want to be, what are they going to align with when they participate with these programs. And so I think that they begin to formulate their own opinions. I think that they begin to figure out who they are. And so I think that that's really important for them to really understand their own value system and begin to create their own value system. I know that we do our best to make sure that our girls, create their own value system. But at this point, hopefully we've laid the foundation and they can do it themselves and begin to formulate and hear different points of view so that they begin to, again, not follow and begin to lead. And so the National Hispanic Institute does a really good job in making sure that our kids are able to communicate effectively so that when they're at the table, they're being heard and they begin to plan and execute the things that they would like for that to happen in their lives. So I really believe that the National Hispanic Institute has some great and wonderful programs. They're all throughout the summer. They start in June and end in July. So I know that kids are busy and have summer camps and we have vacations, but this is definitely something that you let your kids do. So again, please go to the nationalhispanicinstitute.org to see the dates during the summer. There's programs in California, there's programs in Texas, in Illinois, we've got Northeast programs. I highly recommend that if you know of any kids that are in high school that would benefit from participating in these programs, please get them over to the National Hispanic Institute. I sit on the board of directors and have been for quite some time, and I know that this program, these leadership programs, are very important in the lives of our kids. So please make sure that they participate. We know that you are the parent at the end of the day, and we want our kids. I always remember the things that my parents used to tell me, or my grandparents, actually, my grandma, is dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. Tell me who you are around and I'll tell you who you are. And if there's nothing more important to me than making sure, I want to make sure that the things that my kids are around and what my kids where my kids participate are where I want my kids to be. I want to make sure that my kids are around people who are smart, who have goals, who are ambitious, who want to learn new things, who want to learn from others. Or I really want to make sure that my kids are around those individuals. A lot of these programs are all volunteer run, so they are run by kids who have participated in the programs and now come back to volunteer, and they're all at universities in the United States. So I definitely want to make sure that these kids are participating, or my kids are around kids who are already participating and are going further. So please, if there's any questions or if you have any comments or thoughts, I highly recommend that you go to the nationalhispanicinstitute.org, leave us some comments on Las Comadres about if you participated in this program. We'd love to hear from you. Have a wonderful day. This is Melissa, Comadre Melissa, y hope you all have a great day. Las quiero mucho.